Instagram. Will we ever get to see UFC Africa? Absolutely, positively, 100% there will be a UFC Africa. Which fighter on the current roster has the potential to have the same impact on UFC as Conor McGregor? Maybe a Khamzat Chimaev? We'll see. What outside influences have shaped the way you promote UFC and produce shows and cards? Most of my influences have come from, obviously, I was a big boxing fan growing up. I feel like I always knew what fight fans wanted to see and didn't want to see. Most of my early influence was based on boxing. Yeah, it'd be hard to say that the WWE didn't influence me too. Yeah, with their live events and things that they've done, 100%. But mostly boxing. Reddit. What was the most satisfying victory for you out of any UFC fight? When Chuck Liddell knocked Tito Ortiz out, that was my favorite moment that has ever happened in UFC history. De La Hoya wants to sit down with Dana White to bury the hatchet. I feel like De La Hoya's apology was sincere, but there's no way that he and I can ever be friends again. You know, he and I were actually friends. I used to go to his fights. I used to watch his fights. I used to promote his fights. That guy did way too much damage for us to ever be friends again. I appreciate his apology. Get it. We're cool, but we're never going to be that cool. What is the most brutal finish in UFC MMA history? To pick one is tough. I mean, there's been so many recently. Tony Ferguson versus Chandler, the leg breaks of Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman, Conor McGregor's leg break. There's been a few. YouTube. Dana, what fighters are on your top 5 all-time UFC list? John Jones, Anderson Silva, Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, GSP. There's so many other people that should be on there. Usman should be on there. Why is Dana so concerned about pirating streams? Who cares? I care, dummy. This is how everybody makes their money. You're bitching about fighters not making enough money. They get a piece of the pay-per-view. People who steal it are stealing from us and them. And what happens to people who steal? You get fucking smashed and you go to jail. That's what happens to you. And I make sure that we get you. Everybody was fucking laughing at me when I was talking about this. We caught a lot of people. People weren't laughing when they got caught. You had a lot of people begging me not to prosecute them. Stealing is stealing. I wonder what is going through Dana White's head during these face-offs. Also, what was the craziest face-off? What's going through my head is making sure that they don't touch each other and a big fight doesn't break out on stage. Tough to say what would be the craziest. Conor and Nate Diaz got pretty crazy. There's a bunch of them that have gotten crazy, but the toughest ones are when you have monster heavyweights that if they really start freaking out, there's not much I'm gonna be able to do.